This is the fourth video for Word Module 3 in the Shelly Cashman book on Microsoft Office 365. We are on the bottom of page 3-39, working with Smart Art Graphics. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to the end of the document. We're going to insert a page break. We can do that right here, or we can just hit the Enter key one more time. And if you want to do a page break, you can go to the Insert tab up here and choose Page Break. I'm not going to do that. The keyboard shortcut is pretty easy to remember. It is Control Enter. So I do a Control Enter, and if we scroll back up here, we'll see that a page break got inserted. Note that that's only visible if you have the Show Hide button pushed in, which I think you should leave pushed in all the time. So now we're on a new page. This would probably actually be a separate document, but that's not the way that the author is doing this. So we're going to enter some text, and we want to go to the Home tab, which we're already on. We want to click the Center button to center the paragraph, and also do a Control E for that. Click the Bold button, so we want our text to be bold. Click the font size arrow to 36. So here's our font size. We want 36 point text. And then we want to click a font color, orange accent 2. So our font color is right here. We want the 6th color in the 5th row. So here is column 6 and here is row 5. It says scroll if necessary to see the insertion point and paragraph mark, type orientation or registration, and then press enter. Then type student schedule. Now we're on page 3-41. Your document should look like the one in figure 3-56 at the top of the page. And now we're on the bottom half of the page. We're going to add and format a paragraph border. We want a border around both of these paragraphs. Note that they are paragraphs. Every time you hit the enter key, you're defining a new paragraph. So this is 2 paragraphs. They just happen to be really short paragraphs, so only 1 line long. So we want to go to our borders option up here. That's in the paragraph on the Home tab in the paragraph group. We want to click borders and shading. And then we've got a bunch of options here that we can select. So we want a box shadow over here. So we're going to click box, and that'll give us all the way around. Then we want the 5th style in the list here, which is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we want to select color. 6th color in the first row, orange accent 2. Click on that. And for the width, we want 2 1/4 points. So go down here and do 2 1/4. Click OK. And your document should now look like this. Want to remove the shading, just click any place. So we're at the end of that student schedule line. We're going to hit the enter key to go down to a new line. And now we end up with another large orange line, and the border just got moved down a little bit. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to modify that. And the way we're going to modify it is there is a button up here in the font group called Clear All Formatting, and it will take everything back to the default. So let's go ahead and click on that. And it gets rid of all the formatting for that paragraph and returns it back to normal and our regular font and our regular size. That's a real handy button. Every once in a while, you will get something formatted and you have a hard time changing the format of it. And sometimes the best thing to do is just click on this button and go back and start over. Now we're going to apply a style and enter some more text. So with the cursor down here in this blank line, we're going to do no spacing again. I'm going to set the font size to 14. I'm going to press enter. And then we're going to type in some text. So those are the 2 lines of text that we need. Now we're on the bottom half of page 3-44. We want to select the text to format. In this case, we want 2 days here. And can't double click, that'll only get you 1 word. So click and drag over 2 days, and we want that text to be underlined. Let's go up here and click on underline. And notice you've got more than 1 option for that. We want the 6th one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then we want to define the underlying color, and we're going to use our orange accent 2 again, which is up here. Okay, now we're at the bottom of page 3-45. We're going to use the Format Painter button. So with the text selected that contains the formatting you wish to copy, which is 2 days, click the Format Painter. This is a really nice feature of Word. Click on the Format Painter. Your cursor will turn into a paintbrush when you move out over the text here. So we can see the words we want to format by flipping over to page 3-46. We want to select dress accordingly, and we just want to take the mouse while it's still got the paintbrush and drag it across it, and it will format it exactly like this. So if you got something that's formatted, with a different font and maybe a different style, a different color, different size, whatever, instead of making something else look the same way by going through all of those steps, you can just use a format painter and change all of those attributes at one time. Okay, so we want to go to the end of this line here, and we want to hit enter twice, and we want to save the letter. So just go ahead and click on our save button up here. And the next thing we're going to take a look at is some smart art graphics. So now we're going to be at the top of page 3-47. We want the cursor on this bottom paragraph here, and we want to center that. So you can either go up here and click on center, or you can just do a Control E. And now the cursor is centered on the line. So the smart art that we insert here will be centered between the left and right margin. So what we want to do is we want to go to our Insert tab now. One of our options here is Smart Art. We've got categories over here, and if you can just kind of scroll through here and take a look at all the different options that you have. We want List, and in the List options here, we want a grouped list. And these are, unfortunately, they're not labeled, so you just have to kind of, look at each one and see which one is the group list. This one is the group list right here. Go ahead and click on that and click on OK. We get something like this in our document. So this is very flexible. We can add more columns if we want to. We can add more rows if we want to. We can change the formatting, and we can insert the text. So we want to delete some shapes from here. The shape we want to delete is this one right here. So click on it. When you get the handles around it, actually, if you click in here, it's ready for you to type in text. And you've got a dotted line around the outside. If you click on the border, though, a second time, now you've got a solid line around the outside. And if you press the delete key while you've got a solid outline around it, it will delete that. We also want to delete this one. So select that, hit delete. And then we want to delete just the rightmost part right here. So let's select that, hit delete. Now we've got two columns. Let's flip over to page 3-50. We're going to add text to shapes in a smart art graphic. So we're going to type in the text that they display in the book. Notice that as you type this in, it also appears over here. Now we're at the bottom of page 3-51. We're going to add a shape to a smart art graphic. We want to add another line. Now, the easiest way to do this is not by messing with the menu up here. The easiest way to do it is just go over to this bulleted list over here and hit enter, and it will open up another box for us down here. Okay, and then we can click on up here, and we can type in lunch. We're going to add some more shapes. So this is going to involve quite a bit. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items over here. So we're going to do enter, enter, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to go down to the next row here, and we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to type in a bunch of text here. And the easy way to do that, again, is over here on the left side. Note that I am not hitting the enter key at the end of each line here. You must either hit the down arrow, or you can click on the next line, which I'm doing. If you hit the enter key and we've already got the correct number of bullets, it's just going to add another bullet on the left side and another blue box over on the right side. And it looks like I counted wrong. There are actually 9 items on each list. So the last one is going to be evening activities. And we got a bunch on the other side. We're going to call this day 2. And I'm just working down the bulleted list over here on the left side. And our options are going to be Okay, so we've got 9 items in each column. We did it the easy way, I think, by just typing the text over here. Now we're going to go to page 3-54. We want to change the colors. So with the Smart Art selected, we want to go to the Change Colors button up here, and we want colorful, and that's really colorful. Go ahead and select that. Now we're at the top of page 3-55. So now we're going to apply a style. So we've got Smart Art styles listed up here. They also have names, but they're not labeled. So you just have to pause the mouse over them and wait for the title to show up. The one that we want is Subtle Effect. So let's start here at the beginning and work our way across until we get to Subtle Effect. And that's the third one here. Go ahead and click on that. Now we're at the bottom of page 3-55, and we're going to resize the graphic. So I'm just going to close this side window here. By the way, if you close it and you decide you want to reopen it later, just click on the Smart Art graphic, and there's a little arrow down here that you can click on to open it, and you can start typing again. If you want to close it, you can either click on this X up here or the arrow down here at the bottom. Okay, so we want to display both pages on the screen at once. So we're going to go to our View tab, and we're going to go to Multiple Pages. Now we can see both pages on the screen at the same time. We want to click the outer edge of the Smart Art graphic to select the whole thing. You'll know you've got the whole thing selected when the handles just appear around the outside. Drag the lower right sizing handle until it's the same size as in figure 3-78. And 3-78 looks like they stretch it out so it fills up quite a bit of the page here. So let's try doing this. That looks pretty much like page 3.78 or figure 3-78. Save and print the letter. So save it. If need be, go ahead and print it, but we're going to skip that part. And the last thing in Module 3 is addressing and printing envelopes and mailing labels. So at the bottom page 3-57, we want to scroll through. Let's go back to one page here. We want to scroll through the document until we can find the name and address here, and we want to select that. Then we want to go to the Mailings tab, and we want to click on the Envelopes button. We can put in a return address down here if we want to, and then go ahead and insert an envelope in the printer, and we can print the envelope if necessary. So let's type in the return address here. And if you had an envelope now, you'd be able to print it. Just click on the print button here. I'm not going to actually do that, but that's the process for creating an envelope. And that brings us to the end of Module 3.